and welcome to Prudent Media. My name is Sachin Chatte and on this program we take a look at the latest releases. Today we will take a look at the Kannada film Su from So, which took Karnataka by storm last week and now has got a countrywide release. And we'll also take a look at the spiritual sequel of Dhadak called Dhadak II. First, let's take a look at Su from So. To put it in plain English, Su from So, the Kannada film playing with English subtitles, is one of the most refreshing films in recent times. Amidst the chaos and juvenile humor that characterizes most Friday releases, this film directed by J.P. Thuminath arrives like a breath of fresh air. कभी-कभी ऐसी फिल्म आती है जिससे आपको कोई ज़्यादा उम्मीद नहीं रहती है, लेकिन वो आपको एकदम सरप्राइज करती है। Su from So excels in every aspect, from its writing and direction to its performances. It possesses all the right elements. Supported by actor, director, producer Raj Shetty, known for delivering one of the finest gangster films, Garuda Gama Vrishabh Vahana, this film will undoubtedly leave you smiling with plenty of hearty laughs along the way. Rather than being driven by a conventional plot, this film focuses on its characters and episodic moments. And indeed, there are a diverse array of characters, all of whom are entirely believable. Director J.P. Thuminath also takes on the lead role of Ashoka, a young man who due to circumstances pretends to be possessed. वो सबको बताता है कि उसके अंदर भूत आ गया है. Prior to this, we are introduced to the village of Marlur, which is mourning following a death in the village. इस गांव में ज़्यादातर पुरुष होते हैं और इनका रोल ज़बरदस्त एक्टर्स ने किया है. उसमें रवि अन्ना है, प्लेड बाय शनील गौतम, जो बड़े तगड़े दाढ़ी वाले हैं और एकदम टफ गाय है और उनकी बातें सब सुनते हैं. Then there are other villagers played by Prakash Thuminadu and Deepak Rai Paranje, whom many will recognize as the actor from Kantara. अब होता यह है कि अशोक जो हमारे हीरो है उनके अंदर भूत आ जाता है, वो भी सुलोचना का जो सोमेश्वर विलेज से है, इसलिए फिल्म का नाम है सू फ्रॉम सो. अब वो भूत भगाने के लिए they have to perform an exorcism and a questionable god man played by Raj Shetty, who has a whale of a time playing the role, is called from another village. Additionally, there is a social commentary woven into the narrative through the introduction of the spirit's daughter Bhanu, played by Sandhya Arakare, who is battling patriarchy in the village while yearning to converse with her mother. उसको अपनी मम्मी से बात करनी है जो गुजर गई है और उसको पता चलता है कि मम्मी का भूत अशोक में आ गया है. The film features some cleverly crafted scenes and dialogues, most of which appear credible. Like the village meeting that takes place to decide कि कमेटी में कौन होगा कौन नहीं होगा. ये हम हमेशा देखते हैं, चाहे वो बिल्डिंग की सोसाइटी हो या चाहे कोई भी कमेटी हो, कमेटी में कौन रहेगा इस पे ऊपर सबसे ज़्यादा चर्चा होती है. The essence of this film lies in its intricate details and authentic characters. The humor arises from witty lines rather than merely from chaotic situations, which is often the case in many films. An example of this is a conversation among villagers when a scooter goes missing. तो एक आदमी बोलता है दूसरे से, क्या स्कूटर भूत लेके भाग गया? तो दूसरा बोलता है हाँ, पर क्या उसके पास लाइसेंस है? तो बोलता है अशोक के पास लाइसेंस है, लेकिन सुलोचना जो भूत का नाम है उसके पास लाइसेंस नहीं है. लेकिन मैंने तो गाड़ी की आवाज़ ही नहीं सुनी. बोलता तो दूसरा आदमी बोलता है कि शायद उसने न्यूट्रल गियर में लगा के चलाई होगी, आखिर वो आत्मा है, वो कुछ भी कर सकती है. Now this may or may not appear humorous, but in the film it's very very amusing. S. Chandrasekharan's cinematography is exceptional, particularly the lighting in the interior scenes. The film would not have the same impact without this talented ensemble of characters who deliver outstanding performances in every scene. Su from So brings back the old world charm of comedy back to cinemas, and I'm going to go with 4 out of 5 stars for this Kannada film Su from So. Do watch it if it is playing at a theatre near you or even far from you. And now let's take a look at Dhadak II, which released this week. One of the characters says उसके पास इज्जत है, SUV है और अपनी ही कास्ट का है, तो क्यों ना शादी करूं? She says that to her sister. The theme of caste is prominently featured in Dhadak II, a remake of the Tamil film Pariyoram Perumal, directed by Mari Selvaraj, which was his debut film. This film serves as the spiritual sequel to Dhadak, which was released in 2018, which itself was a remake of Sairat, which came in 2016. Directed by शाजिया इकबाल, जिन्होंने एक बहुत अच्छी शॉर्ट फिल्म बनाई थी बेबाक 2019 में that also addressed social issues, it is commendable to witness a newcomer directing her first feature for a major production company. It has some of the pitfalls of a mainstream production, but it effectively underscores the issues of caste and identity, delivering its message with clarity. Iqbal's film retains the core essence of the original while skillfully crafting scenes that resonate effectively. Well, at least most of the scenes. इसमें थोड़ा सैराट का हैंगओवर है, but any commercial film addressing caste issues is likely to draw parallels with Nagaraj Manjure's groundbreaking work. Furthermore, considering the age-old atrocities related to caste, the significance of caste identity and division cannot be understated. The film begins with a quote from Thomas Jefferson: "When injustice becomes law, resistance becomes duty." We are introduced to Nilesh, played by Siddhant Chaturvedi, in an unnamed city जो भोपाल जैसी लगती है और वो रहता है भीमनगर में. वो अपने नाम और पता बताने से कतराता है क्योंकि it will reveal his social identity. When he gets admission to study law, his principal, played by Zakir Hussain, वो उन्हें बताते हैं कि बेटा पढ़ाई पे ध्यान दो, पॉलिटिक्स में मत पढ़ना. However, a senior student informs him पॉलिटिक्स तो उस दिन से शुरू हो गई जिस दिन हम पैदा हुए थे. His classmate is Vidhi Bharadwaj, who in contrast to Nilesh has no qualms about saying her name loudly. उसका सरनेम भारद्वाज है, उसको कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है, and she doesn't really know what other people go through. The contrast is there to see when the students introduce themselves in the classroom. To some degree, she is conscious of her position. At one moment, while assisting him, she says, "मेरी privilege का कुछ तो फायदा होना चाहिए." What ensues is predictable yet engaging. The narrative elicits sympathy for Nilesh's character, and there is an added complexity regarding his father, played by Vipin Sharma, who is grappling with his own challenges. आरक्षण और अफर्मेटिव पे बहुत सारा डिस्कशन होता है फिल्म में. जहाँ भी जाओ सब कहते हैं तुम्हारी ये जगह नहीं है, नीलेश सेज, enduring constant humiliation. उसकी जहाँ भी जाता है वो उसकी बेइज्जती होती है. Although the subject matter is of great importance, effectively depicting it on screen possesses a challenge. While it succeeds in many respects, there are instances where a more briefer approach might have been beneficial. For example, in the scene where a bucket filled of filth is hurled on him, there are nearly 12 to 15 slow motion cuts. It is clear that this represents inhumane humiliation, and a shorter depiction would have been more powerful. Another scene where he is brutally beaten and shamed at a wedding leaves a more lasting impression. Vidhi's character gets an upgrade from the Tamil film. Unlike the other women in the family, she is not molded by patriarchal norms and expresses her thoughts freely. She also tells Nilesh about Mardo wali bimari, referring to toxic masculinity. Her father, played by Harish Khanna, who raises her in the absence of a mother, is also a compelling character. He is not malevolent like other men, but he remains silent and does not take a stand either, thus completing the spectrum of characters that we observe in real life. Siddhant Chaturvedi and Tripti Dimri have put on an impressive show. There is a gamut of emotions they have to portray, and they do it well. The film stands as an indictment. Life pretends to move on, but injustice remains exactly where we left it. जिंदगी आगे बढ़ने का दिखावा करती है, लेकिन नाइंसाफी वही रह जाती है जहां हमने उसे छोड़ा था. I'm going to go with 3.5 out of 5 stars for Dhadak II. Well, that's what I thought of the two films released this week. Do let us know what you think, and I'll be back with you next week with more movie reviews. Till then, it's goodbye from me.